Hey guys, so I did a review of the ReasonY glove after I played, probably 20 to 25 games in it. I've had this glove for over a year and a half. I've easily played at least 150 games in this glove. Honestly, it's probably closer to 200. I sub in for a lot of hockey and I attend a lot of pickups. So I wanted to do kind of like a 1 year later review. I also got the opportunity to play in the ReasonY pads. A friend of mine had them and I'm lucky enough that they were my size. So I put 10 hours into these as well. So I'm going to give some kind of initial thoughts into kind of how these played and performed. First though, I'm going to start with the glove. So I want to start with durability because it has been a year. I'm happy to say there has been next to zero wear on this glove. I'm hoping the camera can pick it up. I've got minimal fraying on the tee, minimal rubbing, and this is just going to happen when you play on, D tile or sports tile. But in terms of like the actual construction of the glove, it's got bolts, nuts and bolts throughout. I've been checking it periodically. Nothing is loose, nothing is wobbly. I can't say a single part of this glove has shown any significant damage since having it. One small caveat, and Michael, the creator, was great with it. I notice when it is extremely cold and wet, there's a small piece of foam back here, right under the wrist. I would not say this is critical, but when it gets very, very cold, the adhesive isn't as effective and it has come off more than once. I'm not going to take it off now to demonstrate because I've used shoe glue to keep this on, but outside of that, I've had no issue with the glove. It's quite common too where I play 2 or 3 games in a row in this as well. I'll do this in the summer as well. So I want to comment on the grip on this because I think we can all relate to playing multiple games and the inside of the glove does get soggy. The inside of this glove also gets soggy. I was playing in a Warrior G5 before this. This isn't even close to how slimy, or I should say, in terms of how slimy this glove gets, I can't even compare it to the Warrior. So even after playing 2 or 3 games in a row on a 25-degree day, yes, it's wet in here, I still have solid grip and strong control. I will notice if you're playing very with a lot of intensity and you are moving your wrist around a lot, the wrist strap will come loose over time. It has not come off on me, but there are times where in a game I find myself adjusting it and restrapping. I don't think that's an uncommon problem though, no matter what type of glove you have. Comfort and protection, no significant changes there at all, which again, you would imagine after 150 to 200 games, the glove would feel a bit different. Nope, closes as quick as it's day one. I have had to readjust the interior palm once, and that was after playing in a rainstorm. I just noticed things didn't fit quite right. So I opened up the glove, readjusted the internal palm, no issues. And people ask me, protection, how is this? Because it does look like a strange, flimsy glove. I've been making a lot of saves on my glove side RVH. So I used to keep my glove out this way, facing the shooter. Let's imagine this is my post here. I've since started to cut against my body. So I have taken several shots off the exterior cuff. It's very common where I also punch out at them. No issues. I've had one shot that has caught me, and I don't know how it happened, but it caught me in here, and it got me through into the knuckle. It hurt. I wouldn't say it was painful. It was odd. Hasn't happened since then. And then in terms of stingers to the palm, we've got one gentleman in our league who can regularly shoot the ball 100 miles per hour. We know this because we have slap shot competitions once a year. I do one-on-one training, workout, shoot-arounds with this guy, whatever word you want to call it. He has laced this glove. One shot. He's hit right in the palm, and I could feel it. Wouldn't say it hurt, but it was notable that, like, holy smokes. So if anybody's on the fence on this glove when it comes to protection, I'd say that's just not a concern. This thing isn't built to the way this thing is constructed. It's really, you're not allowed to get hurt wearing this, to be quite frank. And then lastly, because so many goalies are deciding if this is something that they want to purchase, let's call this price value ratio. So again, I've been playing with this for over a year and a half. If something were to happen to it, I would order another one ASAP. It's still my favorite piece of equipment. I still tell people you need to give this glove a chance if you're going to try playing in it. You will not pick it up with one game and love it. You have to put 5 to 10 games into it before you love it. But for its price point at $500, I would say if you are playing with a modern glove and you have no issues with your catching glove, no issues with its performance, you will not notice a significant improvement going to this. If you're playing in a glove that's 5 years or older and you are annoyed with pop-outs, you want to improve the catching part of your game, $500 while steep, you will immediately notice its benefits. I would not say you should go into debt to buy this glove, but if you have the cash and you're trying to make a decision, $500 for this glove is really a smoking deal. If it was $400, gosh, I'd say go buy 2 of them. But even at $500, like I said, if you're playing in older gear, this will be a massive upgrade to you. The tee is still solid. I don't have a goalie stick with me, but for anyone who doesn't know, one odd thing about this pocket, the big reason it allows you to catch so easily and swallow so easily is because of the elongated tee. The downside, though, means if you are the type of goalie to play the ball or play the puck, then you need to adopt a bit of a different grip. So imagining this, my forearm is a goalie stick. The way you would grip it is instead like this. I do play it. I don't play it well, but I do play the ball several times throughout a game. No wear and tear on the tee. It's been holding its shape just fine. Shots have bended the tee in. Shots have ripped off the tee, and it closes just fine. So for anybody on the fence on this, yeah, I'd say if you can get your hands on it, totally demo it out. But if you're at the point where you've been on the website a few times thinking about pulling the trigger, honestly, I'd say go for it. You're probably not going to regret this. Now, when it comes to the ReasonY pads, I have some more polarizing polarizing opinions. To give a reference of where I'm coming from, I played in Warrior G5s. I'm playing in Warrior G6s right now. The reason I play in the Warrior G6s, I enjoy a really stiff pad, and I put a lot of time into my rebound control. So I like how hot rebounds come off my G6s, and I like the control that I have in them. And of course, I love the weight, but you're gonna get low weight pads if you're playing in anything new. When it comes to the weight on the ReasonY, it's the first thing that you'll notice. It's very difficult to explain, but especially throughout the shin, I found that it almost felt like nothing was there. It's very thin to the shin, and there's definitely some benefits and some cons to that, but right away, no matter what pad you're wearing, you will realize, holy smokes, this thing feels like nothing on my leg. One of the biggest benefits is the slide on this. I play in Konecki's Pro Sliders. I will even use Howie's Wax on my sliders before a game. These pads here are, I believe, 8 or 10 months old. They've also had a lot of games put into them. Perhaps you can see the wear on the knee stack. These things still slide way better than any Konecki sliders that I've had. I've also played in the DEK Goalie Velcro sliders. These blow them out of the water. So that's one area where ReasonY pads really swing hard. Great slide. These are not very forgiving pads. When it comes to what type of goalie should look at these, you have to, I would say that these pads demand you are a butterfly goalie with a high level of technique. I would not say I have a perfect technique. I would say that compared to other butterfly goalies, I'm pretty good. I was able to find a lot of, I was able to learn these pads quickly. But I will say mistakes in regard or technical mistakes when wearing these pads, you are punished. It has a very thin profile, but the knee stack is still normal thickness. What that means is if you start your slide off on the wrong foot, or if your leg is a little behind you while you T-push to the side, it's very easy for these to flip over. And unlike other pads, once these flip over, because of the boot construction, you are fully flat. It's very difficult to quickly get it back into a proper stance formation. It's probably the wrong word, but I think you know what I'm saying. Post play on these pads are great. Again, though, you have to be very technical. It's got a great seal on the post. However, with this boot, I noticed that as games go on, if you are the type of goalie to lose your technique and you start to dive, you start to throw your leg around, with how light this boot is, even with toe ties, it moves quite a bit. And it happened to me once where it actually got caught over the post. So my foot was still in the pad, touching the post. However, this had lifted and it caught itself on the post. And when I tried to pull my leg away, there was resistance. I didn't like that. I feel like that could be a big, it will take it may take a long time for it to happen, but I could just feel that would cost me a goal one day. A question I saw online was, how do rebounds perform off this considering it's plastic? It's interesting. When I compare it to my Warrior G6s, if I'm stationary in safe position and I don't add to the rebound, so a shot just hits my pads, I find that the rebounds shoot very fast and they go straight to the corners. When I try to kick the pad to direct my rebound, maybe I'm trying to kick it out further, or I'm trying to pass it to one of my D-men in front of me, I don't get enough distance as my G6s. I'm not sure why. Part of me would like to think it's related to the foam in traditional ice hockey pads that provide a bit of spring and cushion that push the ball back upon save, whereas this, considering it's flat, considering the material, there's no real give to this. There's no real absorption. The ball just kind of hits and goes right off. So if rebound control isn't a big part of your game, but you do want fast rebounds, you're going to enjoy that about this pad. For someone like me, who I've got a lot of saves where I will swivel my lower body to aim and direct my rebounds, I had a difficult time making that happen with these pads. The shin is completely flat as well. I notice a lot of modern ice hockey pads, even though they are also flat, again with that foam absorbing the ball, in effect you have a bit of a concave pad upon impact. I wish I was a scientist and could explain how that interacts with rebounds, but I feel like this being completely flat and hard, it was, again, really difficult for me to control my rebounds. The thigh stiffness on this was great. I was definitely getting way faster rebounds off this than I would on my Warrior G6s. And another cool benefit, although very niche, I think we can all relate to when we are in the butterfly and the ball trickles and it's sitting kind of up here on the leg channel. The way it's constructed, it's a very minimal leg channel. I have had many cases with traditional ice hockey gear where it's a lot more bulkier here. The ball will just sort of roll and sit on top of the pad and sometimes roll in. The way with this is constructed, I've had a couple shots that came in here, sat on top, and just sort of sank in. So, again, I wouldn't say you should buy these pads because of that. Cool little design feature that I'm not sure was on purpose. And lastly, the number one thing I want to talk about in design. I struggled a lot with comfort in these pads. I played probably 12 hours into these. and I restrapped 6 different times to try to find a strapping that felt comfortable for my leg. 2 big issues I had. This pad really requires it sits higher on your leg than you may be comfortable with. Down here at the boot, this hinge, if you leave it too low on your leg, this is going to go right into the top of your foot. I was playing with the ReasonY shoes. I was also playing with the Napper, the AK7 Goalie shoes. So the padding that goes on top of my foot. The top of my foot was very sore after half an hour with these pads. And that was because the pressure of this hard plastic combined with the weight of the pad sinking into the top of my foot. Eventually I realized to strap a little bit higher completely alleviated the pain. Just something that you goalies should know. These are best worn a little bit higher than you're used to. How do I word this? There is a sneaky great product here. The slide is incredible. The rebound speed with minimum effort is awesome. It is a punishing pad if you are not a butterfly goalie. If you're an old school guy, these probably won't be for you. If you're playing with goalie pads that are 5 years or older and you're a comfortable butterfly goalie, you'll find immediate benefit with this. It's going to demand you to be a more technical and better goalie. One major gripe I have about it though is with the leg channel. I'm not sure if it's in pursuit of a lighter pad. I'm very disappointed with how simple the leg channel is. It's a little old school, to be honest, relative to what this pad's trying to accomplish. And anybody playing in new goalie pads, you know how sophisticated leg channels are and how comfy they are. I wouldn't say comfort is important to your game, but man, it was difficult for me to get used to these. You know, I took to the ReasonY glove quickly and with ease. After 12 hours playing in these, I still don't feel great in them. I can totally see the benefit in the pad and why the guys who love these do love these. But me personally, playing in relatively new pads, to take on the upgrades that the weight and material give me, but to take on this leg channel, the strapping is good with the Velcro. There's 2 Velcro straps that will go across the back of your leg, and then 2 little pieces here that just kind of pinches into. These, in my opinion, are junk. We need to get away from straps like these. They're so hard to adjust. I have big legs. I don't say I have inhumanly large legs. These were very difficult to find strapping that worked. I found that this top thigh strap served no purpose. You see here, I just keep it here away. I would strap behind my knee. The boot strap on this is also very, I don't say low quality, but just very, very simple. Now it actually broke, but the way the boot strap works, you can see here where there was once bungee that it would attach to this piece, connect and go under your boot. Then there's 3 toe ties located right here. But these really only work with the ReasonY shoes. I'm sure I could tinker around with other market toe ties, but I could only make it work with the ReasonY shoes. And they really preach boot flex as a big benefit of this pad. And while yes, it is, I don't think the comfort of the pad and the performance of the pad overall, let me take that back. I think we can imagine boot flex saves. The reality is how people play the position. That's just kind of not what people are doing. Rather than extending your toe to get that extra coverage, I think most players, I think we'd agree, we just sort of extend their leg to make up that space, and that way you still have your foot in a strong position to recover. Because on full extension, it's very difficult to come back. So my brain can understand why this non-existent boot flex could be helpful when it comes to actual practice and how I played in the pad. It didn't really come to play for me. So closing thoughts. These pads are $1,100. I'm very happy I got to play in them. You know, if I was given $1,100 today to make a goalie purchase, I don't think I'd buy these. I think I'll just save that to buy some modern ice hockey gear. Going back to, though, if you are a goalie with older gear and you're only playing ice hockey and you're looking to make a solid investment, if you're a butterfly style goalie, yeah, I think you're going to find a lot of value with these pads. I would describe them as so much potential in the idea, so much with room for refinement. When there is a version 2 of these pads, I will be way more excited because I think there's a lot of room for opportunity when it comes to the leg channel and how to keep the pad from over-rotating. If anyone's got any questions, there'll be a comment section. Leave them there. Hopefully I covered everything. See you guys.